In this video, we are going to talk about Asus Zenfone 10, the best phone for a compact flagship. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Taiwanese electronic giant Asus realized a few years ago that to stand out in a very crowded market, it's worth going against industry trends and zig where others zag. That was the mentality behind the sudden downsizing of the Zenfone series, going from a 6.6-inch screen in the 7th generation model to 5.9 inches in the Zenfone 8. Phone screen sizes across the industry had gotten bigger and bigger, and Asus saw value in going in the other direction. That gamble has apparently paid off, because the new Zenfone 10 brings back the same 5.9-inch screen size for a third year running, and Asus reps say they have seen real demand from consumers for a small flagship phone. Performance and battery life. Performance is arguably one of the Zenfone 10's two main party tricks. Yes, it's small, but it's also fast. This year's model comes with the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which is a straight-up generational upgrade over the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 of the Zenfone 9. It's paired with up to 16 GB of RAM, which my test model uses, though the entry version starts on half that. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 has been impressing all year with its speed. Unsurprisingly, the Zenfone 10 CPU and GPU benchmark results are in keeping with what we've seen from the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S23 and the Xiaomi 13. They are also a reasonable amount higher than the Zenfone 9 and are much higher than the Pixel 7 with its custom chip. Cameras. Asus has kept things pretty consistent on the camera front, with another dual camera setup fronted by the same 50MP Sony IMX766 main sensor as the Zenfone 9. As before, the standout component is a 6-axis hybrid gimbal system, which keeps things way more stable than your average OIS system. This enables the shutter to be left open for longer without increasing blur, subject permitting, as well as steadying out video capture. Verdict. The Asus Zenfone 10 is another cool glass of water in a smartphone desert populated by lumbering supersized flagships, especially now that the iPhone mini line is no more. It's small, smart-looking, and eminently capable. The improvements over the Zenfone 9 are admittedly few and far between, and I would have liked to have seen more progress in the design and camera categories, not to mention charging speeds. It's never good to see smartphone prices going up either, though that appears to be the norm in 2023. Price and competition. As has become the trend, the Asus Zenfone 10 has received a small price bump. It starts at £750 for the model with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. Yes, that represents a doubling of storage over the Zenfone 9, but you're still looking at a £50 increase this year. Perhaps the more important factor is where this price bump positions the Asus Zenfone 10 in the wider market. It sees the range leapfrogging the £729 OnePlus 11 with its superior display and cameras. Design and hardware. The Zenfone 10 brings back almost the same design first introduced with the Zenfone 9, but I'm fine with it because it's a great design. A 5.9-inch flag 144Hz OLED screen wrapped by a metallic frame with a sandstone-like back that provides grippy texture. Its 172 grams weight and 68.1 mm x 146.m x 9.4 mm dimensions make for a compact phone that most adults should be able to hold with one hand easily. But anyway, the Zenfone is a compact phone that packs plenty of power. The 144Hz screen refresh rate is higher than most phones on the market, and its main camera is supported by a 6-axis gimbal system. If you look closely at the camera as you move the phone, you can see the camera lens shift around because it's floating inside the module. Inside the phone is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip that's the most powerful chip in Android, with up to 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. The memory standards are the latest, of course: UFS 4.0 and LPDDR5X. There's also a 4,300 mAh battery, which is very impressive given the small size of the phone. Asus did some ingenious hardware engineering to allow for such a large battery, including making the phone corner curvature as subtle as possible without leaving the phone feeling uncomfortably blocky/pointy like Samsung's Ultra phones. And subtle hardware flourishes like the Sethium tray actually curving around the corners add a sense of premium construction. Optics. The camera system remains almost identical to last year. There's a 50MP main camera with a 1/1 56-inch image sensor size, f/1.9 aperture built on a miniature gimbal stabilization system. This main camera is flanked by a secondary ultra-wide camera, and there's also a 32MP front-facing selfie camera. Camera performance is solid to good, but nowhere near the best in the industry. The gimbal system does work in smoothing out jitters when you're walking and filming or when you're panning very fast. But the improvements over a traditional smartphone's OIS, optical image stabilization, are subtle. The Zenfone 10 videos are more fluid, but you really have to look for it. Software. If we continue this grading theme, the Zenfone 10 software gets an A+. It's running Android 13, but with Asus Zen UI on top, and it's one of the best Android skins around. It looks clean and minimal on the surface, but dig deeper and you'll notice it's the one of the two most customizable Android skins right now, alongside ZTE's. There is an overwhelming number of shortcut gestures to trigger an action, from swiping on the power button to bring down the notification shade to tapping the back of the phone to launch an app. Overall performance with the Zenfone 10 is great. Battery life is respectable for a device this small. It isn't going to last me all day on weekends when I am out 12 to 14 hours continuously, but on weekdays when I am at a desk for most of the afternoon, the phone can make it to end of day with juice left. The phone supporting both wired and wireless charging is a bonus. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.